Guys, I undid my hair a couple of days ago, and I'm planning on locking it. Like, I don't know how this is gonna work, but yeah, that's what I'm planning to do. Like, I am planning on reinstalling my dreadlocks. I kept them. I hope I know where they are, because if like we moved, I cut them in the beginning of my pregnancy because I was cuckoo, and then we moved, and then we moved again. So I haven't seen them since the last time we moved. So I don't even want to start looking for them because I'm so afraid of, you know, finding out that I lost them. But I'm planning on starting these ones, and then if I feel like, ooh, I want to, you know, I want the length, and then I'll reinstall them. But if not, then I'll just grow from scratch. I have the patience, so, you know. My hair's locked because of the braids. I had them for like 2 months, so my hair's locked. So I'm gonna tie it up because I look crazy. This is what you signed up for when you subscribed. This is why people were confused in the beginning about my sexuality, because I used to do this with my locks, and obviously you don't know what's going on with this girl. Okay, anyway, I am done. I hope this looks neat. I'm gonna check. I have a big ass forehead, and it looks like a whole bus. So this does nothing for that. But anyway, I like it this way. Hi, how are you doing? I hope you guys are okay. I hope you guys are well. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Like, thank you for watching another video. If you're an OG subby, thank you so much for the support. Like, thank you so much. And if you're new, my name is Boipelo. I hope you do join the fam and become an OG subby one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that, you know, when I start going what it do, you get what it does. This is what not having a life will do to you. Anywho, okay, now that we got that out the way, so today's video is something I want to do for the mummies again. I always do things for the mummies. As you saw by the title and thumbnail, I just want to talk about the things and tips that got me through the infant stage with Azza, who's my baby, who's my daughter. These tips are like things I found on Google and things I learned from my grandmother, my mother. And like I said in the previous video, is that I went home for 2 weeks. I couldn't go for that 3 months that you culturally go for. You know, it was a compromise for my boyfriend. He wanted to be there, so we made the compromise. So in that 2 weeks, I didn't even have to go home, but I felt the need to go. I just knew that I would come back with a bucket load of information, like from simply just going home and being there for a couple of days. So yeah, so these tips, if you want to know future reference, and maybe if you are a mommy or you're expecting and you're just like, I want to know, like, stay tuned, and I hope the video is helpful. Let's get into it. Okay, wait. Like brick. Okay, before I continue, before we get into it, I want to say this, right? So the first thing that I realized, like, as I was doing my research and all of that, and just from being with her the first couple of days, is consideration. Like, it's so easy to feel like your baby's there to make your life difficult. The first thing I had to put in my mind was consideration, and the fact that this person is a human being just like me. The only way she can communicate with me is by crying, and not necessarily by crying, but by being irritable or crying. All right, yeah, like, this person cannot talk, cannot do anything for themselves. Be considerate. And when they start screaming, instead of going or focusing on like shutting them up, try to find a solution. You know what I mean? Why are they crying? If you can find out why they're crying, like, that is going to simplify your life. Instead of focusing on the fact that they're crying, focus on why they're crying and finding out why they're crying. And there are a few reasons why your baby's going to cry: hunger, diaper change, sleepiness, and gas. Those are the simple reasons why your baby could be crying. But then there are other things, like they could be uncomfortable, hot, cold, like they could have scratched themselves, you know what I mean? There are so many reasons, so you have to be considerate. If they bust out screaming, you know they're hurt. But otherwise, I learned that my baby would gradually try to let me know that, yo, for example, I'm hungry. And she'd be like, at first. And then you're not getting it. Then they're like, Then you're not getting it. And then they're like, nah. You know what I mean? Like, that's a normal, you know what I mean? It's a normal thing. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But to get into the tips, the number one tip that I got from my grandmother was massage your baby. Like after every nap, I would literally, obviously she's human, when she wakes up she will stretch, like stretch herself, her legs, and then I would then go in and stretch her body, stretch her legs, straighten them, push them into her stomach, so that if she has gas, she farts. Don't do anything that's gonna hurt your baby. Just slightly pull and push and take the arm and cross it, straighten it downwards, and turn her head, and then that's it. I would literally do that after every nap, excluding at night, because at night you don't want to wake them up. Like, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to do too much activity. Like when they wake up, feed them, back to bed. Don't confuse them, because they don't know the difference between night and day. And if night and day have the same level of activity, then you're gonna have a problem, because they're not gonna know that, oh, it's night, it's sleep time. Because then, you know what I mean, don't confuse. And then another tip, like I said, was to massage. I would massage her. Like, these things help with gas, guys. Before her bath, if I forget before the bath, I'd massage her after. Like, just put on her stomach and just like rub the oil on her back, on her legs. Like, as you're moisturizing them, like massage them, massage her back, massage, not like massage like an adult, but like rub it in smoothly, slowly, you know, take your time, massage. And then I remember I used to give her facials, and I would literally stand by her head and just rub, like, just massage her face as if I'm giving her a, like, see how you get like facials done and the person's like standing by your head and just working with your face upwards so that they're not dragging things down. So you work upwards to lift the face. So I was doing that. I would be like rubbing the oil upwards, and now I can't do it. Like, ever since she turned, what, 6 months, 5 months, I don't know. Ever since she started moving, she's like, don't touch me. Don't, yo, please. She's just like, are we done? Please don't touch me. Like, she can't do it. Like, even if it's good, like, it's relaxing, she has no time for relaxing, guys. She needs to go and destroy some things, okay? She needs to go and play with my pots and pans. She has things to do right now. But back then, she couldn't move, so I would literally pamper my baby. And as soon as her nails hardened, I would massage her hands. Like, after cutting her nails, massage her hands. Like, it was just a whole thing. Anyway, and then tip number 3, so I made sure that her nails were always trimmed as soon as I could trim them. But before, like when they're born, you can't trim their nails. They're too soft. Like, you can't even, like, they're so soft, you can't. They're long, but they're soft. I tried biting them. I didn't want to harm my baby. I was like, okay, no, I'm not doing this. I couldn't cut them. I couldn't bite them. So I decided to then get mittens or use socks, anything to cover her hands, and some onesies. I know I had onesies from Woolies, and some of the onesies, it's not all of them, that have like that one yana that comes with like mittens. So when you put it on her, it covers the hand as well. So when she's sleeping or whatever, you put that on her. But when she's awake and you're trying to like have playtime with her, you know, you can have the hands free. But otherwise, I would cover her hands when she's sleeping to avoid scratches and whatnot, to avoid that type of thing, and the screams. Tip number 4 was that I researched, and then I found a baby whisperer. I don't know how, but I didn't Google baby whisperer. I was just Googling a lot of baby things on, I was just, yeah, searching for a lot of baby things on YouTube. And then obviously they're going to recommend things that you search for, things similar to those things. The most important things were for me that she could analyze a baby's cry. And I remember, I don't know if my memory serves me right, because I know I'm not going to find that video now. So I didn't even try looking for it because I found it, I bumped into it. It was suggested, so I don't know. So she was analyzing babies' cries, and she was like, so there's the O cry, and then there's the E cry, and then there's, I can't remember properly. But I knew that if my baby is crying, I looked at the shape of her mouth. I looked at her mouth, most importantly. If I didn't know what was going on, I looked at her mouth. And if her mouth is like if she's crying as though she's yawning, or she's making the O sound, her mouth is round, I knew that she was sleepy. If she was crying and her tongue was lifted and was touching the roof of her mouth, I knew she was hungry. If she was crying and making the sound, like the sound, I knew she needed to burp. Like, I don't remember everything. Those are the things I remember. So if she was making the sound, I knew it was gas. So either burp her. If she doesn't burp, work on the lower body, like make her fart or whatever. There's the for burp, and then there's the for down. I don't know what's the difference. But if she goes I knew that, okay, it's gas. And then if she cries and the tongue is like up there, up on the roof of the mouth, and she's doing sucking motions, I know she's hungry. So literally, I don't know how, but as time went on, it became a thing where like I wouldn't even wait for her to start crying. The minute she went I lift her up, I'm burping her, or I'm stretching her legs so that she can fart. If she's like crying and she's making an I knew she was sleepy. Obviously she had to sleep every 2-3 hours, so that was easy. Yeah, and then what's the other one, Kana? It's the O, the and the hunger. The ne, it's ne. The hunger is ne, because if your tongue is on the roof of your mouth, the sound that's gonna come out has to have an N. So it was a ne because of the tongue. Yeah, now I remember. Guys, it's too much information, right? It's a lot of information. I did the research, and I was like, and literally the only reasons my baby would cry was because she was just clingy. She wanted to be picked up all the time. And obviously I was a first-time mom. I'm a first-time mom, I'm a first-time mom, and I was excited. I was in love and excited to see my baby. So I never wanted to put her down. Like, I don't care how excuse me, I don't care how exhausted I was. I never wanted to put my baby down. Same with my boyfriend, but he would complain because they didn't have the same bond, which was normal, and he was concerned, like, oh my God, when are we gonna, like, when is she gonna, you know, cling to me? And I was like, don't worry, like, it'll happen in time. You spend all your days at work, and I'm here with her. She knows my scent. I smell like milk, like she knows the smell of milk. You know, so she knows my voice and everything. And you come home at like 7 p.m. and you know what I mean? Like, she knows me. So she's going to get to know you, so it's fine. But otherwise, the only reason she would cry is because she wants to be carried, or maybe her dad umutwere and she wants me. So those were the only reasons she would cry, because I had it down to a science, guys. I had it down to a science. Anyway, that's another tip. That's tip number 4, right? So this is tip number 5. I said in the, I don't know which video, I think it's, which video? I don't know. I said that, like, I wasn't buying cute outfits. Like, I would buy cute outfits as long as it was made of cotton. I was careful of, like, and if I was buying something like a romper or a onesie, whatever you want to call it, I would check the inside, especially the thick ones, check the inside. Because I remember one time, I think this is when we went to Home Affairs, she was so fussy. She was screaming and she was doing all these things, and it was unlike her, because she was fed, her diaper was changed. Like, I chilled in the car and my baby went and queued, and then I fed her, I played with her, I changed her diaper, she napped in the car, she woke up, and then when we were closer, I went into, you know, the building, and then when I got into the building, then she started acting up, and I'm like, in the car she was undressed because the car is in the sun and it's hot and whatever, so I undressed her, she just had her vest on, so that was fine. But when we got in, air conditioning, she had her onesie on and she was crying, and I'm like, you're fed, you're everything, what's wrong? I didn't understand what was wrong. And you get frustrated when your baby is crying during the people. So I literally took off the romper. I was like, my baby was not crying when she didn't have the romper on. Like, this romper is a problem. I don't know what it is, but literally I took it off and she was fine. I took it off and I covered her kakobo, because always have a blanket. I don't care how hot or cold it is, always have a blanket. So I covered her with a blanket, and then I took off the romper and I gave it to my boyfriend. I literally, like, as we are talking to the lady there, I'm getting my baby undressed there. I'm just like, my baby is uncomfortable. Something's going on with this romper. I don't know. Or something is just itching. I don't know. But I removed it and she was fine. So it goes back to, like, be considerate. Like, if everything is fine, like, think, what if she's feeling hot? I would always feel her back here. Like, if I'm not sure of the temperature of her body, or if she's crying and I can't figure it out, I would always check her back to see, even if it's cold, no matter the weather, I would check her back. Like, the first place you sweat is especially as a baby, because you're either laying down, she's either chilling there, she's always chilling on her back, or I'm carrying her. So I knew that the first place that's gonna sweat is her back, her upper back. I just put my hand in, I'm gonna feel the sweat, and if I felt sweat, I took off whatever layer of clothing was on top. I removed it. If I had a blanket around her, I would remove it. If I had a romper, I'd remove it, so that, you know, she can be fine. So there's that, like be considerate, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't stress this enough. You're gonna be frustrated if your baby starts crying and then you feel like it's an attack. You feel like, oh my God, why are you crying? Like, don't do that. So yeah, that's that. And then this should be number one. This should be number one at this point. I don't know what my number man. I don't know what my number man. But this should be number one. That should be number one, man. Always burp your baby. I don't care. Like, I don't care what's happening, what's going on. Always burp your baby. Like, and if you can't burp her, if she's not burping, put her, if she's sleeping, maybe you're burping her and she falls asleep, put her down on her stomach. Let her sleep on her stomach, so that so that she can have a bit of pressure on her stomach, and hopefully she can burp or fart, one of the two, you know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, if, like, never put your baby flat on their back. But most importantly, if you are trying to burp them and they do not burp, do not even, like, don't even don't even, like, I made the mistake. We went, like, when we went for her 6-week immunization, we got there, then, like, the nurse will always be like, put her down. And then I put her down. I don't know if it's a test. I feel like it's a test. And then I put her down, and then she was like, never put her like that. Like, I knew, obviously I knew, but there I was just like, there's no cushion. Like, what am I gonna, you know what I mean? So I just put her flat on the bed, and then she was like, never. Like, improvise, do something, find a way of putting her on her side. And I was like, I know, but in that moment I wasn't thinking about it. So never ever do that. I'm repeating it. Never ever do that. Always burp your baby. Always burp your baby. And then I remember we had a doll that's like black and white. We had a zebra, a stuffed animal. It's so small. Because then I found out that, like, in the beginning they see black and white stands out more than other colors. So we had a zebra stuffed animal. I think we got it as a baby shower gift. I think so, because we didn't buy it. And I remember I used to play with her, got the stuffed animal, because it's black and white. and she loved it. Like, she loved it. Like, when you would put it in her face, she would get excited and everything. So she loved it. So black and white toys in the beginning, like, also to see if your baby can see. You know what I mean? Also to see that your baby can see. Because when they're looking at you, you can see that they're not looking at, like, you can see that they're looking in your direction, not really at you. You can tell that they can't see your eyes. You know what I mean? There's a difference when someone is looking in your direction and looking at you. So you can see when they're looking in the direction of your face and when they're looking at you, there's a difference. So to improve the eyesight, black and white toys, and also to see if your baby's eyesight is fine. Black and white. Well, I still have them. I have PJs, some Mickey Mouse, and they're pink, they're blush pink, and then they have like black writing, or not writing, drawing, black and like rose gold. She used to love them so much. She used to love it. Like anything a black outline new, like she loved it. She like black and white polka dots, she loved it. And yeah, so black and white toys. I remember we bought her a what do you call this thing? A rattle. We bought her a baby rattle that was like, it had black and white, and she loved it. So that's another tip. But otherwise, guys, like, talk to your baby. Like, talk to them, let them know your voice, let them, you know, like, I used to dance with my baby. My baby dances a lot. Even now, like, she dances a lot. I used to be, like, even when I was pregnant, I was dancing. And she dances a lot. But, like, dance with your baby and, like, talk to them and sing to them if you can. And talk to them like a normal human being. There's no such thing as baby talk. This person's actually trying to say what they think they hear you say. That's actually it. There's no such, it's not a language. It's not a separate language. It's just that they don't have the articulation and the brain capacity to say what you're saying. Okay? They don't. But when they're talking and they blah, 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 they're just trying to do what you be doing every day, which is talking. They just don't have the, you know, the ability to do it properly. But when you talk to them and you're like, oh, da, 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 you know what I mean? As though she or he is a normal person. Are you hungry? Why are you crying? Another tip I got was that, like, if you get frustrated, like, there were nights where I was so tired and I would literally let her cry for like a couple of seconds. Like, if, like, see when you, like, you can hear that, okay, she's crying. I mean, her cot was right next to our bed and I can hear, okay, she's crying. Oh, I'm tired, like, I'm exhausted. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. I want to sleep. And you pick her up, she keeps quiet, you put her down, she cries again. Now you're getting frustrated. Like, leave them. You know, next thing you're like, why are you crying? And you're doing things roughly and you're just being impatient with your baby. So if you feel like you're impatient, it's okay to leave them in the bed and let them cry it out and calm down, drink a glass of water, go back into the room and treat your baby right, basically. Like, treat your baby right. Never be impatient. Never, like, I get frustrated even now because, like, my baby is approaching 2 and kulit, like, she is stubborn, she is naughty, she is everything. She's all of it. She throws tantrums. And I used to think it was harder as an infant, not knowing why they're crying and having to figure out what they want and need. But now it's harder because now they want things they're not supposed to want. Now they're playing with things they're not supposed to play with. And now, like, they know exactly what they want. It's just that you are like, no. And then it becomes a whole tantrum. And yeah, so it's very tricky. But in the beginning, communicate with your child. Like, I don't care what age they're at, learn to, like, communicate, like, teach your children to, like, express yourself so they can learn to express themselves. okay? Because then, like, that's why you have your baby screaming at you, because then it's like, that's what you do. You know what I mean? That's what you do. You don't want a child who, like, your child will do what you do. So, like, when you talk to them like a normal person. If they're frustrating you, tell them, you're frustrating me right now. You are making mommy angry. You are maybe making mommy angry. Like, please don't do this. Or please do this instead. You know what I mean? Like, communicate with them properly from an early age. Just be calm. Be calm. Like, be calm. Like, your child responds to your energy. And, like, I don't know if you've noticed, but your child is not, if your child is screaming, if your baby is screaming and you are also like screaming, they're not going to keep quiet. I don't care like what you're trying to achieve. But if your baby's screaming and you're frustrated, like, why are you crying? Blah, blah. And you're even if you're frustrated in your mind, like, you're just like, I don't know what to do, they're not going to keep quiet, because babies sense energy. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. When you handle a baby, you have to be calm, especially if it's a crying baby. You have to be calm. You have to be calm. Okay? You have to be calm. You have to come with love, come with patience, come with consideration, come with all these things. And they're going to respond to it. They're literally going to respond to it. Don't come and be like, why are you crying? Like, don't, like, you know what I mean? You don't want to have an infant who's just screaming all the time, and you are screaming all the time, and it's just a horrible stage for you guys when you're supposed to enjoy it, because it really does not last. Like, it flies past like no one's business. It flies past, right? Okay, I rambled on that one. Okay, another tip was diapers. Guys, get diapers that fit. Get diapers that fit. Don't get diapers that literally hug your baby's bums. I get diapers to this day. I get diapers. That's why I was like, never buy diapers in bulk. I go with my baby's age and I go with her weight. And there's that, like, Huggies, I don't know with other brands, they have their sizes go with weight and age sometimes, I don't know, but Huggies is weight. So I would literally look at a diaper and be like, okay, cool. Like, around the bum area, I needed to have a little space. Like, I need to be able to put my hand through it and for there to be space. I want to grab it like this. I don't know if I can, like, I want to do this. Like, if the diaper is on her, it's going to be like this, right? It's on her. And this is her bums or whatever. I want there to be this space. Like, I want there to be space so that, like, you want there to be space so that when she's peeing and it expands, it doesn't press against her. You know what I mean? It has space to expand without having to press against her. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but I know I do. You want diaper, like, you know your baby's diaper fits if there's space. There has to be space for breathing. There has to be space. There has to be breathing room. And there has to be space for the diaper to enlarge. Okay? And also for poop, because they will pee, and the diaper's getting filled up. And then they decide to poop, and then it comes out in other places, especially the back, because there's no space here because it's so tight against the skin. So you want there to be space so that if they pee, then they also they pee and they poop, there's space. Okay, there's space. Yeah. Oh, and also in the beginning, I did say that I stayed with Huggies diapers because they were the best brand. Their newborn diapers have a slit. Like, this is not the newborn one. The newborn ones have a slit, like they're shaped, like they have a U shape on the navel area so that you don't cover your baby's navel. That's another thing. Like, when you, even if you don't use Huggies, you don't use diapers that have that cut, you have to fold it. Like, you will put it on and then wrap it, whatever, and then fold it so that the navel is exposed. Like I said, it, like, you don't want to cover it. You don't want moisture in that area. You don't want moisture. You want it to be completely dry. And yeah, you want it to be completely dry. And covering it is going to create moisture. It's going to sweat. It's going to create moisture. And it's going to prolong the process. So if you're using diapers that don't have a cut for the navel, you just fold them. And Bob's your uncle. And then there's this layer of skin that some babies come out with a lot more. This layer of, not layer of skin, my God. It's this white creamy substance they have on their skin when they're born. That protective layer thing. It's a moisturizer, whatever. But it's a moisturizer for inside the womb, which is inside water, you know, so that they don't come out looking wrinkly and, you know. So it's for that. But then outside, it dries up and your baby skin flakes, and sometimes it creates buildup. Okay, you don't want your baby to have yeast infections, like when you birth your baby, the neck, behind the ear, like in the ear, not inside, but the outer like part of the ear, the outer part of the ear, behind the ear, the navel, you know, the armpits. If you have a chubby baby, even if you don't have a chubby baby, you know they come out with like a lot of folds. You want to clean those folds properly. Like I said, I wouldn't bathe my baby every day. I would go in with a cotton ball and take warm water or thingy and just wipe the folds, like the armpits, the neck, behind the ear, do the belly button with the Q-tip, all of that. Wipe all of that, and do not, these people are so loud, do not scrub anything of your baby. Like, it looks weird that your baby's the fingers are peeling, their shoulder, especially the back, the upper back, their shoulder area almost here, their nails are peeling, their feet are peeling, you know what I mean? Like, let it happen. All you have to do is moisturize so that the peeling can progress and happen and it can all come off. Yeah, you just moisturize. Don't try to take a washcloth and scrub things off. Don't do that. Just, like I said, use baby oil, blah blah blah, massage her, just give her all the moisture she needs, and the skin will be here. Bye. Okay, another tip. I almost forgot. What's the other tip I had? Oh, I forgot the tip, guys. I forgot the tip. Ooh, also another thing is that I know TV shows us babies with smooth skin. Like, my grandmother told me this, and she was like, do not panic when your baby has rash or whatever. They have to have that. Milk is hormones. Your milk is hormones. When they're born, the hormonal change that's happening with your body, going from carrying a baby to no baby but creating milk, is a whole another thing. So that change also affects them, because then they're sucking it from you. Girl babies will have a period like situation going on where they bleed down there. That's normal. That's a hormonal change. Other babies will have acne. Most babies have acne. Actually, all babies have acne. It's called baby acne. Some of them will have it on their head. My baby had it where? It was around the cheeks. Most of the time it was here, the ears, here maybe, but it never went further than that. As long as it's specific area. Like, if it's eczema, you can tell that it's eczema. Eczema dries out the skin. It becomes like a layer of, like, I don't know, it becomes like cracked skin or something. It's weird, and the skin is rough and patchy and all of that. But if it's like normal rash on the cheeks, I don't know what you guys call them in your languages or in your cultures, but and my grandmother told me it's healthier for them to come out, because if they stay inside, then they create problems. So she's like, expect her to have these reactions and these breakouts, but They shouldn't be there throughout. She should have a breakout and then it goes away, and then another breakout and then it goes away. It shouldn't be something that's just constant, you know what I mean? It should come and go, come and go, come and go. Yeah, so yeah, like if you see a baby has a rash on their head, obviously if it's something concerning, that's concerning to you as a mother, you have instincts, like if it's something that concerns you as a mother, if you're just looking at your baby and you're like, my baby is not okay, act on it. Like there are things where I can't tell you, okay, this is a tip, this is not a tip. Guys, if you have the instincts to tell you when your baby is not okay, like you birthed this person, like you're gonna feel it, and you won't be able to sleep. You will not be able to get it out of your mind. And you have the sense, if you have the sense that my baby is not okay, maybe the rash is too much. Okay, I know the rash is too much. I mean, you have what's this, immunization every month, not every month. Yeah, you have immunizations, and you can literally discuss it with the nurse or the doctor or whoever. But if in your gut you're just like, my baby is not okay, act on it. Don't let anyone tell you, it's just this. They didn't birth that person. Like I see a lot of mummies on like TikTok and social media in general going, oh, my baby had this, and I suspected something was wrong, and my mother was like, no, oh no, you're overreacting, oh no. This one lady had a nanny who was abusing her baby, and she felt it. She was like, no, something is wrong. And the mother was like, no, you're just being anxious. I mean, it's the first time you're leaving your baby with someone you don't know. No, it's fine, it's whatever. The nanny killed the baby. The nanny did something to the child, but the postmortem said that like something happened to the baby's head. He was either banged with something or hit with something or dropped on the floor, or something happened to that child that caused a type of like head concussion, if I may. Like, I'm not sure, like it's kind of like a head concussion, and a baby's not supposed to have that. Like, that's why I'm just like, even if your baby is crying and you are frustrated, never shake them. Like, it's not supposed to happen. They can die from that. Don't do this. And even if you see someone playing with your baby and they're like, my boyfriend used to do that. Be like, and I'm like, don't shake my baby. Do not shake a baby. Okay? Do not shake a baby. Excuse me. Today I don't have water and now I'm parched. Anyway, so trust. I was just telling you that story to make a point of like, trust your gut. This woman told the mother like, something's off, and something was off. She just didn't trust her gut. She went to confirm it with someone else, someone who doesn't even live with you or your child. Never do that. Like, never, ever, ever be like, no, I think my baby has this. If you think it, act on it. Take her for a checkup. Take him or her for a checkup. Do something about it. Your gut will never mislead you. You'd rather be safe than sorry. You'd rather go to the doctor and have them be like, oh no, it's just baby acne, than for it to be like, oh, she has this infection and this and what. And it's too late. You know what I mean? Excuse me. So yeah, I don't know if I covered everything. I try to script my videos, but I can't. When I script my videos, I just lose everything I wanted to say. Like, I find myself having to pause a lot. Like, it doesn't flow because I keep on having to look at the script. But if I just think to myself, this is what I want to talk about, it just flows. You know what I mean? So I hope I mentioned everything I wanted to mention. But yeah, I just want to say, trust your gut and be considerate. Be considerate, and remember that this person is a human being who is just dependent on you. Anyway, let me go. I'm rambling on and on and on and on. I talk too much. Okay, I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Hit the sub if you haven't. You know you're wrong for not doing that. You know you need to do the right thing because you're just watching for free. Well, you're watching for free anyway. But like, you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Do the right thing and join the fam and be an OG subby, and then we can do this thing the right way. Alright? Otherwise, I'm going to be born in my next video. Okay? All right.